Donald Trump spoke over the weekend in Anaheim, California, as a part of a California GOP event, and I was there on the ground interviewing Trump supporters. I already released a segment on the YouTube channel you can find of what happened there. It was wild, the most wild. So many threats levied my way and the way of my friend and camerawoman Chloe, and just so many different crazy things happened. You can find that segment on the YouTube channel. But I do want to talk about the speech that Trump delivered. And it was also outrageous and frightening. And we'll just start, waste no time, with this clip.
When they're there, they'll knock the hell out of you and kill you in some cases. And we will immediately stop all of the pillaging and theft. Very simply, if you rob a store, you can fully expect to be shot as you are leaving that store. Shot.
So he's saying the reaction to looting should be shooting people dead, which, as I'll always say, looting, bad, people should be held accountable for it. You think execution is the justified reaction to that? That is deranged. That is very authoritarian. And silence among Republicans reacting to this. And by the way, what's really, before getting to more clips from the speech, what's really bizarre is the way that supporters of Trump aren't aware of a lot of the things he's saying that are notable. I said during my segment, talking about all the interviews I did at this event, that it seems my audience, viewers, y'all, know more about what Trump is saying and doing day to day than his own followers who proclaim him to be this incredible leader. Wouldn't you want to know about the person that you support more than people who are opposed to him? It's very, very strange. And I didn't ask, because it hadn't happened yet, about his comment about shooting looters dead. I mean, he said this in the past, but at this particular speech. But I did ask about his stance that he's repeated multiple times, including at his announcement for president, for his presidential campaign, his stance that we should execute drug dealers. And one of the supporters I talked to, again, you can see the full segment on the YouTube channel with all my interviews, said this. He says, execute drug dealers. Is that something you support?
I've never heard that. I've never heard him say that.
But we're going to be asking everyone who sells drugs, gets caught selling drugs, to receive the death penalty for their heinous acts.
I've never heard him say that.
If he did, would you be supportive of it?
I'm not supporting. I wouldn't support.
So likely he wouldn't be aware that Trump was saying that at the speech he was outside showing his support for Trump at. It's really confusing to me. If you're going to have the merch say he's incredible, to not even keep up with these really disturbing things he's saying in terms of, I guess, what passes for policy these days, really, I don't understand it. Next moment from this speech.
The mission to help you liberate California from communist rule begins at noon on Inauguration Day, 2025. 2025. We got to make. I'll tell you, the election of 24 is the single most important election in the history of our country. I used to say it about 16. It's the most important, and it was. But this is more important because we're going to lose our country. Our country's going to hell. Our country's being destroyed. Together we will take on the ultra-left-wing liars, losers, creeps, perverts, and freaks who are devouring the future of this state like a swarm of locusts. Left.
My goodness, the language just escalates every single time he speaks about his opposition. There he said, quote, the mission to help you liberate California from communist rule begins at noon on Inauguration Day 2025. I talked to Trump supporters for my Moguls with MAGA episode, and this particular part wasn't shown in the episode, but one of the individuals I was talking to said, I used to live in California, and she also used to live in China. And she said California was more communist than China. Now, I've also lived in California, and in terms of the governmental structure that I was governed by when I was there, exactly the same as the one I'm governed by, almost the same in Texas. Both not communist, just slight policy differences in the grand scheme of things from one state to another. Meaningful policy distinctions, but not two different types of governments like communism or a democratic republic. Very bonkers that people believe that's happening in California. Then you have him saying this about Beverly Hills and the stinky people.
But they don't want the water to come down all the way to Los Angeles and the Central Valley, where we're constantly forced to ration. You have droughts. We're rich people in Beverly Hills. We don't feel so sorry for them, but I do actually. You know, they pay millions of dollars in taxes. They're taking a shower. They're told to hurry up. You're only allowed a small amount of water when they take a shower. That's why rich people from Beverly Hills, generally speaking, don't smell so good, you know. Typically. You ever notice they're not great?
Okay. His obsession with water and water pressure not being good enough, or limits on water, and all of his different theories about that continues every single day. Then let's see here. You have this as well.
All the currently dry canals will be brimming and used to irrigate everything, including your own homes and bathrooms and everything. You're going to be happy, and I'm going to get it done fast. They say that there's so much water up north that I want to have the overflow areas go into your forests and dampen your forests, because if you...
So, of course, inspirational stuff as always. Then, just so vile, on the attack on Paul Pelosi, Trump says this.
Together we will take on the ultra-left-wing liars, losers, creeps, perverts, and freaks who are devouring the future of this state like a swarm of locusts. And we'll stand up to crazy Nancy Pelosi, who ruined San Francisco. How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know? And she's against building a wall at our border, even though she has a wall around her house, which obviously didn't do a very good job.
If you're not familiar, the husband of Nancy Pelosi, Paul Pelosi, had a right-wing attacker break into the home trying to find Nancy Pelosi of the Pelosi's and hit Paul Pelosi in the head with a hammer. An elderly man hitting him in the head with a hammer because of the very conspiracy theories, the very attacks and hate that is spewed by Donald Trump about Nancy Pelosi. And then he jokes about it. It is as vile as it possibly could be. And then just outside of this, Brian Glenn, who's the boyfriend of Marjorie Taylor Greene and works for Right Side Broadcasting, he is trying to defend Donald Trump as a heckler is heckling Trump and saying the crowd's not that big as he's coming in or out of this event or somewhere in California during this trip. And Brian Glenn makes it his mission to show both how much he can stand up for Trump and just show how much he adores Donald Trump right in front of Trump. Very, very cringy. Take a look at this.
Donald, why is there only 100 people here? I thought you were popular.
Are you? Hey, go home. Hey, are you an idiot or what?
There's like 100 people here.
Why don't you get the hell out of here? What are you doing here? You don't think it's popular? This guy's an idiot, President Trump. This guy's an idiot. I'm going to throw his ass out of here. I'm going to throw his ass out of here. He's an idiot. All right, let's get over. Some guy. All right. That's all right. Some guy was heckling in there. Look at the support you have here in California. It's amazing. People are lining the streets.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
God bless you. We support you. You know that. You know that. Thank you very much. All right.
Oh. Even Trump seemed like, listen, I'm all about my ego, but that's a little much, Brian. Sir, I love you. I love you so much. Don't listen to the haters. You're beautiful. Give me a kiss. It's very strange. Some people make their life just kissing up to Donald Trump, and I don't understand it. Why not just support politicians based on the policies that they put forward and then judge them based on their ability to follow through on those policies, but don't obsess over them as a person? Some people take a different route. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show and get a bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.